I know it's understood that there's a magnifying glass on this Michigan football program because of the ongoing scandal investigation, and I do promise I will be making a video on that just when I get more facts. But not only when I get more facts, when I can connect the dots between the facts to make a story and present it to you guys from my perspective. That's when I'll make a video. But I still don't think it's time yet. I think the story it's long and complicated and it's still developing. So it seems like there's a new detail coming out every day. So I just have to let that sort itself out. But believe it or not, amidst all that, we still have a football game to play between Michigan and Penn State. This game at Beaver Stadium, which is an environment that I love. It's also understood that this Michigan team has made a name for itself by dominating its opponents this year. I mean, it's been bad. Like, you've got to scrape these teams off the field when the game is over. Michigan has annihilated these teams they played. J.J. McCarthy, he's been incredible this year. I mean, he has been smooth, fantastic to watch. I love his delivery. I love the touch he has on his ball. That his accuracy is fantastic. The way he rolls out of the pocket, he's so smooth with it. It's a great watch. I recommend you tune in to watch him this weekend. And he has the numbers to back that up. 2,134. I couldn't tell if there's a 4 or 9 on my sheet over there. Passing yards on the year. 18 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. So he's been efficient. He's had the numbers to back up the fact that he's been performing at a very high level this year. And I'll tell you this too. If he has a memorable game, and more importantly, a memorable moment against Penn State and a Michigan victory this Saturday, he might just book his ticket to New York. Just putting that out there. But I love what I've seen out of J.J. McCarthy this year. Blake Corum. There's just more and more depth to this Michigan team. Blake Corum, the running back, he's averaging 5.2 yards per carry this year, which is fantastic. Those are great numbers. And then you've got Donovan Edwards, you're sprinkling some Roman Wilson, and you've got the recipe for a very powerful, very intimidating, imposing offense. Now, while Michigan has dominated its opponents this year, it's also noteworthy to mention their strength of schedule, which is rated at a 1.4 this year. That's good for 52nd in the FBS. So you have to consider that as well. If there has ever been a vanilla schedule, this is one of them. And it's no knock against Michigan. They can't control their schedule, but when we evaluate them against teams with bigger resumes, it's definitely something that the College Football Playoff Committee has to take into consideration. So, has Michigan been challenged yet? And if they haven't, will this game be a wake-up call for them, or will they be fresh and energized and ready to take Penn State on? You saw that with Georgia last year. They played Tennessee. Like they were fresh when they played them because they hadn't really been challenged much. Their strength of schedule was not high, so when they played Tennessee last year in November, they were ready. While Tennessee went through that ringer of a schedule with LSU and Alabama, like Tennessee had been through it. Whereas Georgia hadn't played anybody yet. Will that be the case with Michigan and Penn State this weekend? Penn State, they have been challenged. They played that ferocious defense of the Iowa Hawkeyes. They played Ohio State, and yes, they were outmatched against Ohio State, but through being outmatched, were they strengthened? Was it an iron sharpens iron-like concept with them in Ohio State? We'll have to see that this weekend. It may have strengthened Penn State. It may have mentally prepared them for this exact Michigan game. They're hosting Michigan. That is a huge advantage, and I'll dive into that. What I've seen out of Penn State so far, generally, is that they have been capitalizing on the strength of Drew Aller. Finally, taking shots downfield. He's such a remarkable talent. I have to say, this is a great quarterback matchup, too. J.J. McCarthy, Drew Aller, one who's established and one who's been ascending but still making a name for himself. And Drew Aller, great quarterback matchup. But just taking those shots downfield with Drew Aller. And it's been working. He's such a big arm. He's very accurate downfield as well. You've been seeing Penn State grow into themselves a little bit more, especially against Maryland last weekend. Their defense has been fantastic this year, too. It's been very stingy, very disruptive, and I think with the noise behind them at Beaver Stadium, that could help them indeed pull off an upset against Michigan this weekend. Now, it's a very interesting game. These are two not only conference opponents but division opponents. They play every year. There's a lot of history. It's a big rivalry, so these games can always go either way. And I don't like to mention the scandal, but And I contemplated this going into the video if I was going to say this or not, but I am. It's worth acknowledging that when you have a scandal or external factors like that, there is motivation, whether it's motivation for Michigan, whether it's motivation for Penn State, both. It does add another layer to the game. I think that Penn State crowd is going to be electric. I think it's going to be deafening. I think it's going to be louder than it's ever been. I think they may force Michigan to take a timeout on the first drive again, like they did a couple years ago. Like it's going to be like that. So, with that home crowd behind them, I'm actually taking Penn State to shock the world, 34-28. I am. I think it's there. I think the recipe's there. It's wild November, and anything can happen. It's the wild, wild west once you flip that calendar from Halloween night to November 1st. So, I'm taking these Nittany Lions, and that will serve to shake up not only the Big Ten, but the college football playoff picture overall. Have a great day. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you and the time that you took out of your day to watch the video. And if you enjoyed it, please be sure to like the video and share it, as well as subscribe to The Era. The more likes and subscribers I get on this channel, the more resources I can attain, and the more resources I can attain, the more value I can provide to you, the viewer. And that is how I show my appreciation for you for the time that you devote to watching my videos. So thank you so much, and have a great day.